today's session, which is on web scraping with Excel. And our presenter today is Brian Bardi. Okay. So this session is brought to you by your BizEdge and MHS Analytics. Your BizEdge, you are a Nigerian Microsoft Excel, financial modeling, Power BI, and general data analysis consulting and training firm. So if you have training needs, be it in Excel, be it in Power BI, be it in financial modeling, be it in SQL, we should be one of the people you reach out to. So we provide trainings to companies, to individuals, and also consulting services to companies. Okay. And we also have a digital resource platform. I'm going to share the link, class.yourbizedge. From this platform, you can access free resources and also paid resources, but at very affordable prices. So if you are trying to try your hands on something new and you want a low cost approach without dropping the quality, you want a high quality but low cost access to things that you want to learn, then I'll say try it out. I'll share the link. MHS Analytics is a Canadian entity. It's the same thing, the same services we render via your BizEdge, but now for the North American and European market. So if you have a friend or you have someone who that's the entity they would rather deal with, maybe for financial purposes or just policies that makes them to want to deal with, companies in the same region as they are, then yes, MHS Analytics. So with that, we have come to the main crux of our meeting today. Brian is going to be taking us on this adventure of how to use Excel beyond the typical just keying figures or copy pasting in data into it, but how you can hook it to web pages and pull data directly from the web. And I think he also has in mind to show us even for images, not just text data. So Brian is a data analyst with over 3 years experience, and he's done works that involved dashboards, data extraction, pipeline, statistical analysis. He's got some training certifications in SQL and general data analysis. He's passionate about problem solving, and I'll share his LinkedIn connection link so that you can connect with him. I'll share it in the chat. And so now I'm going to hand over to Brian. So Brian, over to you, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Michael. So my name is Brian. As Michael said, I'm a data analyst. I work with your BizEdge. I have over 3 to 4 years of experience, and I'm very particular about web scraping. And today I'm excited to share with you the knowledge I have concerning web scraping as it relates to Excel, because you can use multiple applications. In fact, it's limited with Excel. So I'm just going to teach you how you can use Excel to do web scraping. So for today, I'm going to use 2 examples. So first of all, let's start by what is web scraping even. So web scraping refers to the process of extracting data from a web page and importing the data into a spreadsheet for further analysis. All right. So I'm sure you've seen cases whereby you have like various web pages and you're seeing data on that web page and you would like to extract it so that you can use it for further analysis. That is what I'm basically going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let me just share my screen. So please feel free to ask questions. I'll be looking at the chat box from time to time so that everybody can be carried along. So let me share my screen so we can start. Okay, so this is my Excel sheet. So let me go to my web page. Sorry, can you see my screen? Are you seeing my web page?
No, I see Excel.
Just Excel.
Yes. Do you want to maybe share your entire screen, not just
Yes,
one window?
yes. Okay, please confirm if you can see my web page now.
Yes.
Okay, so will be the first. So I'm going to give two examples. One is the basic way of extracting data from the internet into Excel, and the second one we're going to go and scrape a website to get further information from that website. So this one, we have this is a Wikipedia page. You can just simply Google list of Nigerian states by GDP on your Google, and you'll see the Wikipedia link to this. So this is a Wikipedia page that consists of the 36 states in Nigeria. Unfortunately, FCT is not here, so we'll not be doing for FCT. The 36 states in Nigeria and their GDP. So we'll be using this one, this GDP PPP in billions, is purchasing power priority, and we'll be comparing it with the states by population. That's the population of each state in Nigeria. So we'll be wanting to get the GDP per capita. So instead of copying this whole copying it manually or anyhow you want to copy it and putting it in Excel, you can actually connect to Excel directly and get this table from here. So let me show you how to do that. So here I'm back to my Excel sheet. So I'm just going to go to data. From data, I'm going to go to get data, and I'm going to go to get data from um, other sources, and then I'll see from web. That's what I'm interested in. I'm going to click on it. So it's asking for the URL. So I'm going to go back to the web page. So let's start with the GTP. Let's start with the GTP. So it's asking for the URL. So I'm going to copy the URL of the GTP, that is of this particular web page, and go back to Excel, and I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to hit OK. If this is your first time connecting to a web page, maybe from a particular site, it's going to ask you whether you want to connect to that web page because that's your first time. So you're just going to click on connect before you can access this page. It's still the same thing. Subsequently, when you want to access it, it's not going to ask for all those information. So here we can see the various informations on this particular web page here on our Excel. So this is what we initially saw on the web page, the states and the GDP and other informations, right? So we are going to, this is what we the other the other tables. So first and foremost, you see HTML tables here. So these are the tables the Excel is able to grab from like that particular web page. This other table is for the data sources, which is not what we want. While this one is for codes and this text sources, which is not what we want. So when we after going through all of them, we see the one we want and we now press OK. So we don't want to load this data directly, so we want to transform it. Let's clean it a little before we load it in. Okay, so here is our Power Query. So we are going to get rid of the columns we don't want. So we just want the state and we want the GDP PPP. That's these two columns. The other columns, we are going to remove them. So we are going to go and remove other columns. So this is what we want. So let me just rename this to GDP in brackets PPP. put the dollars to indicate that it's dollars. So we would like this table to have the actual dollars, that is, because this is 266.55 billion. So we are just going to tweak it a little. We are going to add another column. We're going to call this column. I mean, this should actually be the GDP PPP. Let me just do what I did before, but I'll use USD instead just to differentiate it. And from here, we are looking for the GDP. That is this particular table, this particular column, because it's just showing us an approximation 266.55. So because it's in billions, we want to multiply it by 1 billion so that it can give us the exact full length of the numbers. 1,000, 1 million, 1 billion. So this is what we want. So I'm just going to hit OK. And I'm going to change this to currency. So I'm going to choose columns. I don't want this particular one to show, so I'm going to hide it. That's the initial one. So these are the two columns I need. So I'm just going to export it back to Excel. Great. So just going to convert it to a currency, and it's going to be in USD. Great. So I'm also going to get data for the other information, which is for the population, so that we can get the GDP. So the essence of this is that I'm getting it directly from the web page. I'm not getting it from any other place. I'm scraping Wikipedia page and getting the information directly from there. So I'm just going to go back to the web page here so I can copy the URL. This is the web page of Nigerian states by population. So we are going to use the estimate of 2019 because this page has, this particular table has two columns of population. One is 2006, while the other one is 2019. Though I think it's quite outdated, but let's just use this. I'm going to copy this and paste it in here. Okay, so this, as I said, you can go through all of them, but basically you're going to find it in one of the first few HTML recommended tables. So this is actually what we're looking for. So let's quickly transform it. So these are the two columns we need. I'm going to remove the other columns. And I think it's okay like this. I'm just going to close and load. Okay, so let me just format this to a number. Okay, great. So we are just going to use VLOOKUP to bring in the information from the population into the GDP page. So I'm just going to put the formula of VLOOKUP. This Lagos State, find it here, and then return column B. And I'm going to rename this column to population. Okay, so the next one is GDP by capital. GDP per capita. So the GDP per capita is basically the GDP divided by the population. It was historically used as a measure to compare development between one place or the other. Though there is a newer way of checking that, which is HDI, but for this sake, we are going to use GDP per capita, and we are going to try to showcase the result on a map. So I'm just going to say equals to GDP divided by population, and I'm going to hit enter. So this way we now have on a table, we now have the states, the GDP, the population, and the GDP per capita. So let's just go further and put this on the map. Okay, so we are not looking at the GDP, we want GDP per capita. Great. So like this, we are able to we've successfully achieved using data from Wikipedia page, from two Wikipedia page. We combined them together, we brought them to Excel, and we were able to get the GDP per capita of states in Nigeria. You can see Lagos, I think this is Bayelsa, Cross Rivers. These are some of the states that have the highest GDP per capita in the country. So far, is there,
Brian,
yes?
before you go too far, someone is asking the map, like they will like you to redo the map.
So we do
They
the map.
missed out on how you did the map.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, I'm going to show you that. So let me just delete it again. So in order to insert a map, you need you just highlight the columns you want. So in this case, I'm just going to highlight the first two columns, state and GDP. So I'm doing that by Control Shift direction, one direction left, Control Shift, rather just Shift, then one direction left, then Control Shift down. Then I'll go to Insert. Then from Insert, I'll click on Maps. Then Maps, there's only one option, Field Maps. I'm going to click on Field Maps, and it gives me that. But because I'm not looking for GDP, I'm just going to, because you can see this GDP is highlighted, this column GDP, PPP, USD is highlighted. I'm just going to take it. That's this is indicating that these are the values that are used in the map, right? So I'm just going to drag this off and take it to GDP per capita so that it can give me the result of both the states versus the GDP per capita, which is now reflected on the map. Hope I'm able to answer your question. No, I'm not using a Mac. I'm using a Windows a number on Windows laptop. But I think you can still use a Mac to achieve this as long as you have Excel. Okay. So that is for this. So the next one, we are going to anyways, in case you have questions, I can still come and answer your questions. I'm not trying to build an exotic map. I'm just trying to show you how to use the web, use Excel to get data from the web and get results from it immediately. So for the next one, I'm going to go back to my Google. So we are going to, this is the website of my company, um, Your Bizage Limited. So on this website, we have a list of, so I'm on the website, I navigated to the courses where we have the courses. So if we go to the courses, it shows you all the courses we offer. So we offer at the moment 6 courses and at the moment 7 courses. So each course has a title, which is this one. For example, this one, in-depth Excel training, executive dashboard, and business data analysis. And it has the price of the course, 120,000 naira. It also has the image of the course. So this is different. This is interesting. Right. So what we are going to try to achieve here, we are going to use Excel to extract the information about these 7 courses here, the names, the amount, the picture, and the link to the course, in the sense that it's going to be clickable. When we click on the link, we can easily go from Excel to that particular link immediately. So I'm going to go back to my Excel. So I'm going to also go and get data. I'm going to get data from other sources and from the web. This is a web page. So I'm going to go back to the course. I'm going to copy the URL, jobbizedge.com, and I'm going to paste it here, jobbizedge.com/courses/ and I'm going to hit OK. So the navigator pops up again. Just taking time to load. Okay. So let's look at the suggested tables it's recommending for us. This one is giving us the name of the course, the amount of the course. This one is for combo courses even. This is not what we want. Table 2, the amount of the course and the name of the course. Again, this is not what we want. Table 3, just the amount and add to baskets. That's not what we want. Why this one is the name of the course, the amount, add to basket, combo courses. It's not what we want. What we want is the name of the course, the amount, the link to the web page of that particular course, and the image of the course, right? So in order to build let's also expel this one so you can see that what we want is not even included here either. So in order to build a custom list, right, a custom table that is not among the what Excel is recommending for you, you're going to go to this option down here, which is add tables using examples. So I'm just going to click on that, and this pops up. So let's just give the columns title. So the first one is titles. We want the title of the course. The second one is price. We want to know the price of the course. The next one is page link or just link. The link, let's put page link. The page link to the course. And the fourth one is the image of the course Okay. So in order to do this, we also have to also be looking at this particular course page, right? So the first course is called In-Depth Excel Training, Executive Dashboard and Business Data Analysis. So I'm going to click on the first row. So when you click on it, obviously, so all the what do you call this? All the items on that web page are going to pop up for you to select because it's not organized. So you have to choose what you want. So we cannot go through the list by checking them one by one because the list is very long. So we are just going to type it. That's why we looked at the name, In-Depth. So which is the second one here, In-Depth Excel Training, Executive Dashboard and Business Data Analysis. I'm just going to double click on that. Then the next one is the price. Let me expand this. Okay. The next one is the price. The price is 120,000 naira. So I'm going to put 120,000 naira. Just 120,000 naira. There's no other phone included. So I'm going to click on this twice. Then the next one is the web page. So there are multiple ways of getting this. So I'm just going to come here over the link to the web page, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy link address because there are multiple web pages here. So I'm just going to paste it here. So automatically it has picked it up. Then the next one is the image of that particular course. So I'm going to go to the image part, not the web page part, and then I'm going to right click and until I see copy image address. All right, so I'm going to copy image address I'm going to go back here and I'm going to paste it. So nothing has still happened because it's by examples. You have to give at least 2 examples before it's able to completely figure out the rest by itself. So let's give a second example. So the second example is the second one, which is business intelligence and dashboards using Microsoft Power BI. So I'm going to write that here, business intelligence and dashboard. So that's the first one on the list. So I'm just going to double click on that to select it. And after I've done that, you can see that the other ones. So the other ones on this particular role is big data analysis, Power Query, and Power Pivot and VBA in Excel, and also Python for data analysis. So we can see that they've automatically filled themselves. All we have to do is just to give this other second example, then the rest are going to fill up for themselves. So the price of this Power BI course is 150,000. I'm just going to put 150,000. Then the page link for this Power BI course, again, I'm going to right click on the page link, copy link address, and I'm going to paste it. And for the page image, I'm going to also go to the image part, right click, until I see the copy image address. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it here. So it has filled the rest of the other information on that particular row, which is what we want. Let's just confirm that for the VBA Excel is 150K, is 150K, and for Python is 120K, 120K. So automatically it has picked that up. So it's also supposed to pick up these ones, but again, it depends on the website and how the website was designed. So if since it did not pick up this second rule, we can actually do it ourselves manually. So this one, the name of this particular course is Finance and Financial Statements for Non-Finance Managers and Entrepreneurs. So let's first put it. Finance and Financial Statements. So it's the second one. I'm going to double click on it. So as you can see, after I've put that other example, the other ones populated by themselves, the financial modeling and the AFM masterclass. So we can just confirm with the price and see that it's actually financial modeling is 200,000, AFM masterclass is 350,000, and we can see it's actually correct. So the other informations we actually came in here. So for the other ones that are not here, we can actually still manually put them ourselves. So for the finance or non-finance, the page link was not included. So we are just going to come in and copy the page link, copy link address, go back and paste it. And the rest have been populated. Why this one, Python, the image for Python did not pop up. So I'm going to go back to the Python and copy the image address. Copy image address. So you can see the rest have populated themselves. We can just cross check it, and if you're happy with this, we click OK. So back to Excel. So after we've clicked OK, our new table has a new category has come up, custom tables, and our new table is there. This is what we manually just created by ourselves just now. So we are good with this, and we are going to load it into our Excel. There's no need for further transformation. Still loading. That is this table 5. Great. So it has finished loading. So again, we don't have clickable links. These links are not clickable. I have to double click on them to go to the web page because like if it's clickable, the color changes. And for the images are still not appearing. So we still have to do some other things. So let's go back to Power Query. We'll double click on the connection, go back to Power Query. So under Power Query, we'll go to transform. Under transform structured columns, there is there's a feature here called create data type. So I'm going to click on create data type. I want to make it advanced. So what's the name of the data type? It's just going to be called courses. And um, these are the columns on that initial table we just created. So they're asking me which of them do I want to include in this data type. So under the title, so I'm going to put all of them there: price, page link, and image. Once I'm done, I'll hit OK. All right. So let's just rename this hold on, this table to also courses. So once we are done, we can now close and load. So the query is loading. Okay. So we've seen that what it did is just incorporated the rest of the role into the same role, but we can actually expand it. There's where we are going to, you know, and when we get there, I will explain to you why we did all these things. That's because we want the pictures to show, we want the links to be clickable, right? That is why we have to go through all these things. So let me see if there's any questions. If there are any questions.
I tried to answer
All of
them
them,
already.
okay. Okay.
But if you want to
So
still maybe comment on them, no, as long as you think you are still within time, you can.
yes, I think I'll finish within time. Yes, like this web page we just did is this is the web page. Is not in it for this question from sorry I can't pronounce her name properly. From Pramman. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name properly. But like this is not in a table format. This is just a web page, and we actually had to. That's why we had to use add data, add table by using examples, and we had to add each of them one by one before it was able to figure out the rest for us. So it doesn't have to be in a structured format. It doesn't have to be in a table format. So for Excel on Mac, I haven't actually used Excel on Mac, but I just feel it may be the same way. So you just go to the data. When you open your Excel, you go to data and you see get data on the left part of your ribbon area. Then you click on the drop down. Then you go to data from other sources, and then you see from web. Yeah, so you can just click on it. We've already done that. Let me see if there is any more questions. This is Excel, not Power BI. Okay, let me just continue. So so now we've actually done this. So now we actually converted this to a data type and we've imported it back to our Excel. So now we are still going to get the columns we actually we didn't merge it together, we just put it under this particular title, this particular ones. So we're going to actually bring them out now. So here the first one we want to bring out is the price. Just brought it out. So it comes up here. After the price, the next one we want to bring out is the page link, right? We just brought that up. And then after the page link, the next one we'd like to bring out is the image. So you'll be wondering, like, this is still the same place we were before, right? But this is what we are trying to achieve. So now if you click on any of this, you can see this is the formula at courses.pagelink. This is what we're trying to achieve so that we can add our own formula to bring out these particular things for us. So let's start with the page link. So for this particular page link, we'll use a formula called hyperlink. We're just going to put the formula after the equals to sign, hyperlink in brackets and close brackets after the statements and hit enter. So you can see automatically it has changed to a clickable link. So I can just click on any of this link, and even if you hover on them, it gives you a small talk on like the on of the way how you can access it. So we do the next one, which is for the images. So I'm just going to click on them, on any of them, probably the first one, and I'm going to put the formula called image so that you can bring out the image for us. Open brackets and then close brackets and hit enter. So this is great. Our images are out. Let me just expand the row width a little so you can see it. So our images are here. These are the images for each and every of the course we wanted. Right. So in summary, this is what I was hoping to achieve today, trying to teach how you can use Excel to scrape data, extract data from the web page without having to manually write it out or use any other application. You can actually use Excel and you keep on working from it from here. So let me see if there's any questions because you manually enter the data on the navigator, right? Yes, so like for this particular one, remember let me just try and see if we can do it again because of that particular question, just to get to that particular part. When we went to get data from other sources from web page, right, we had to come back to the course and copy the URL of that web page, which is this on our browser, and went back to the web page and pasted it here and hit OK. So when you do that on the navigator, it's going to suggest for you some tables. That's the tables. You're just going to create some tables for you, right? Like from what it feels that are supposed to be tables. But if it's not what you want, because none of this was what we wanted, after going through all of them, we actually had to go to add table using examples. That was how we were able to create that particular table we used. I hope that answers that question. Where does the Power Query come from? Power Query. Yeah, Power Query comes in when you want to clean your data. In the last example I used, I didn't really use much of Power Query. But in the first example I used Power Query because the data was just like this on the web page. There was a lot of information. Like for example, this particular one, the data had, 4 rows. Anyway, let me just go back to it. Let me just try and connect to it again. So this was how the data was, and we didn't need all the information on the data. You can also check the web view. Instead of you actually going back to the web page, you can actually check it on the web view. This is how it is on the internet. So this is how the data appeared. So we didn't want all this other information. So in order to transform remove the ones we don't want and make other editing, we had to go to click on this transform data, which automatically pops up Power Query for you. So you can see it here titled Power Query Editor. So here you can remove the columns you don't want. I just selected the columns I wanted, which is state and population. And then I clicked on this drop down, remove columns. And then you see remove other columns, which is the ones that I did not check. And then the rest are gone. So that's just what I did. Okay. So let me know if there are other questions. I think I've actually showed you what I intended to show you today. So we were able to quick summary, we're able to use two different web pages from Wikipedia. One was about population, Nigerian state by population, and the other one was about Nigerian states by GDP. We're able to get them directly from the web page, use Power Query to clean them up, and brought them back into Excel, and divided the GDP by the population to get the GDP per capita, and now inserted into a map, right? So on the second example, we went to my company's website, which is yourbizedge.com. So on the courses part, we went to, it has like, we have 7 courses we're offering. So we had to scrape, that is, we had to extract information of each of those courses, the names, the amounts, the link to the courses, and the web and the pictures. So let's just take, for example, these links. These are the links. So if we click on any of these links, for example, this one, if I click on it, it takes me to that particular web page, not the where every information is, but the particular web page about the course. So here we can see all the information related to that particular course. Okay. Just let me know if you have more questions. I think I've my end. I think I'm done. Just any more questions so I can answer your questions, even if I have to go back to explain.
I think everybody feels you've done a good job. Like I see OMN saying very clear, Martin saying good job, Vanessa saying thank you. Okay. I guess I see someone doing thumbs up, I think Paul. So maybe if there are no additional questions, well, we can give people back their time. Or what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's fine. If there are no questions, it's fine. That means everybody got it.
Yes, I think so. So I'll just share the usual. They should give us a feedback. And if anybody is interested in speaking, so let me just share that usual announcement, and then we will end the session. Let me grab it. And thank you everyone for being a part of today's session. I noticed a lot of people joined really late, so I'll share to you where you can get the download of the video, like access the video when we publish it, hopefully by tomorrow. Let me grab that. YouTube channel. YouTube. That. To get the channel link. It looks like YouTube. Okay. When I say YouTube has changed, access the recordings, the webinar recordings. Okay, I've shared that. Then, if you're not part of our larger community, I'm going to share the community link. So that way you will always be in the loop of all events. You get timely reminders. So join the main community. The main community page for timely reminders and details, and schedule. So you get to see what's ahead. And, if you see a session that you really, really want to be part of, you get to know a lot faster than others, because we tend to fill the community page, into the future rather than just sending you 2 days, 3 days to the session reminders. Okay, so thank you everyone for being a part of today's session. If you know someone or if you are someone who would like to speak on our series, you are invited. There's a form, I'll share it now. And so once you indicate in that form, we have a process of evaluating and getting back to you, because we believe that part of learning is also teaching. If you know something, then you become a master when you have in a situation where you need to explain it to others, you need to teach it to others. And this is a very forgiving crowd. This is a friendly crowd. So it helps you to build up your profile, because these are recorded and accessible on the web. So you get like a profile that someone can see to say, yes, this person has presented to a diverse audience before. And also too, you build your confidence, because if you are waiting for when the big opportunity of speaking on a global stage, maybe a physical session, you don't want that to be the first time you're having to speak. So it's always helpful when you take advantage of a more friendly audience. When you take advantage of a more friendly audience to practice, and as you can see, we are supportive, so we are not judgmental. So that's another thing that you benefit. So I'm sharing that. So take advantage of it, and that's it for today. Thank you once again for being a part of the session. We try to do this every Sunday, every week, same time. And so even if you are not aware of the next session, just sign in next week at the same time. Most likely you will be joining a new session. So thank you once again, and I hope to see you next week. Have a wonderful rest of the week. A wonderful week ahead. The week just started anyway. Thank you, and bye. Thank you, Brian, for the wonderful session. I like the fact that everybody felt it was interactive. They asked questions. They fully understood it. For those using Mac, I want to believe it's the same approach. Go try it out, and then take advantage of all these functions that are already there in your Excel. Don't think Excel is not as great as you see other tools. Now Excel has some of those things that we used to look for in other more sophisticated tools. Excel is now one of those sophisticated tools. So thank you and bye bye. See you next week. Bye.